And I had a mentor challenge me because I'm someone who I like to think on my feet. I wanted to be a lawyer growing up, so I naturally like to talk and like to give and take. And he had challenged me about how much negative thoughts I had going on in my head. And he knew I was ADHD and I'm an overthinker, so that was kind of like in the ballpark too. But he wanted to like kind of get to the root of this for me. And he went on and asked me to go through this elaborate exercise of I would write down every time I had a neutral or negative thought, something that wasn't happy or that didn't like me and make me feel excited and alive. So I was just like, oh, this won't be bad. I thought it would be maybe like 5, 10 times in a day or
Mhm.
something like that, like something inconsequential. In the first 5 minutes, there was like 15 things, and it was like you write it. I had to write it 3 times each time something happened. So, man, like I was going through all this, and then I'm just like, what is going on? And it hit about after 2 hours. I was like, dude, I can't keep going. This is just, it was too much on me because it was so much that I was writing. My hand was cramping. I'm like, what is, I never thought that where it was, but I need to recognize that
Mm.
even though I considered myself a positive person, I think anyone who had talked to me would say more positive things than negative things if you met everyone who has ever met me.
Right.
And I had a very negative cycle of thinking constantly looping in my head. And I look at my life now and where I'm at, and I feel so fortunate because I found this out at in my late 30s. Part of me feels dumb that I didn't figure this out in my 20s, and I wish I had more time. But I look at it as like, man, I talk to other people in other walks of life, and some people don't figure this out until their 70s or their 80s. So I was like, you
Right.
know what? I've got 42 years on those people. Like I've got a head start. So I wanted to start doing shows like this and kind of getting this out there because I was like, you know what? The more I can talk to people, maybe people can get a couple more years of knowing how this goes and
Right.
focusing on the positive and just little bits at a time. I'm not saying you go from whatever you're living in your current life and just be ridiculously happy all the time. It's not realistic. You go slow and you work in little things and find ways to, when you react negatively to something, write it down. Don't do the 3 times I was talking about. Don't want to annoy yourself, but write it down and just like make it a thing of, do I want to react to that? What
Mhm.
made me react? Why does that have power over me that I'm reacting like that? And whenever we have a trigger or an angry emotion, it's something that's coming out of us, and it's usually something that bothers us about ourselves. That's just psychology 101 of how that a lot of that works. So the
Right.
more you dig into that of why I reacted to something, you could just tap into a whole other level of what your positive thoughts are to your negative thoughts, label them, and focus on the positive over the negative.